What's up, Raza? Really quick, two quick side notes. One is I forgot to press record about 20 minutes into the convo. If you want to fast forward to that part, click the time right here. I'll put it somewhere. And number two is you'll notice that I forgot to focus the camera that's on me. Thank you for your patience. I will get this right one day. The following is a conversation with my friend Lobo, co founder of Top Garden Landscaping and Design. Reach out if you're in the 209 area and need services in yard maintenance, irrigation, pressure washing, and more. Reach out. They're doing some great work over there, and their links and all their contact info will be down below. And now I hope you enjoy this episode.
Let's get it.
Bienvenido.
Thank you.
Welcome, Lobo.
That's tight setup.
Hey, so what do you think?
Dude, the setup's clean, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, dude, what is this? Like your second, third, fourth show?
Episode 2.
Episode.
Well, I had a ghost episode with my friend Jose. Shout out to him. But we just did strictly audio. And then the first official episode I barely did like 2 days ago with my brother. And it was with the cameras with these three. And I learned a lot because memory cards are getting full, angles are getting messed up. It's all a learning experience. It's all brand new, bro. And you're episode 2, so hopefully this one's a lot smoother. But I thank you for coming.
Oh man, thank you for having me. Honestly, it's I expected, just a conversation.
Acércatelo un poquito más.
I expected just a conversation at first. I was a little nervous, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I didn't know cameras and everything were gonna be set up until you kind of obviously mentioned after when we talked about it. And I don't know, me on cameras, we don't do too well, but it's a pleasure to be here.
And it's funny because that's exactly what me and my brother talked about in the last episode. Because he's used to being the camera, I'm not. I told him this is a big jump for me, and I feel like for anybody being here, like I respect them a lot because I know all of us have like some type of insecurities, but we're here to have a good time. We're here to spread positivity, and we're here on the Valley Vibes podcast where I want to like touch local people that are doing things with their life. First of all, I call you Lobo, bro, but how do you want David?
I think let's stick to Lobo for now.
Where'd you get that name from?
It's funny, dude. Everybody has usually their story for their nickname. Like it sounds like a badass story, and they're like, oh, I did this, and that. Dude, mine was kind of simple, but I kind of liked it because it's kind of stuck to I guess in a way who I was. During soccer in high school, I mean I wasn't too athletic, but I got to play a year or two, so I got to know a lot of soccer players. And during that time, we would do like indoor teams out there in Oak Grove, I think it would be. And I played for a team called the Lobos.
That's what position were you? Goalkeeper, forward, middle.
I would usually like more defense since I was a kid. I was pretty fat, and so a lot of the time I would have to actually stay back and watch how the player was gonna play. Because if I tried to run it behind him, I wasn't catching him. And so I tried to move up towards middle. Middle was my main thing, but then I played goalie a few times. So it was fun, and through there a lot of my friends and people who I knew saw me play with them, and it just came up.
Yeah.
Shout out Tito, one of my friends. He is actually the one that put that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well, you're gonna be called." He didn't basically say that, but he's like, "Oh yeah, Lobo." He just called it out that, and then after that, it just stuck. Yeah. And I mean, I liked it.
Most people know you for that, no?
Yeah, honestly, that was my sophomore year in high school. After high schoe, throughout high school, after high school, and up to now, a lot of people call me Lobo.
Hey, well, shit, it's better than your basic ass name. and I can say that because we're both named David, and I called it out in the last episode. I said because now I tell people to call me Roman.
Okay.
Because I present myself as David, bro, and everybody knows a David. So and then sometimes like even in our office where I work, there was a Dave. And David, I don't know. I just Roman. No, it's rare. It's kind of uncommon. It's more common as a first name than a last name. But I just tell everybody call me Roman.
That's the same thing I'm having right now in the office. I started a new job basically about a week ago, and right now they're calling me David. But they're like, what do you prefer, David, or what? And I'm like, no, well, whatever comes to you guys. But that's the thing. On the same team that we have in the office, there's a Dave. He's been there for years. They used to know a David, And then I think there's another coworker that might be named David also. So there's a bunch of Davids, Daves, and all this stuff. So
yeah. So Roman and Lobo are a lot better.
Yeah, Lobo, Zavala usually.
I want you to like go back a little bit to so this new job. How much time you got in it?
Dude, it's only been a week. I started last Thursday. I waited for that job for about a month and a half.
What is it? What's the title?
So it's actually being a landscape designer.
Landscape designer.
Yeah. I'm actually planning to go from.
You guys giving the lawn spades now, or what is that? I seriously don't know what that is.
Well, it's basically a kind of step down from being a landscape architect. A lot of people know architects as building architects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anybody doing any type of building structure, offices, any type of architecture like that. But there's also landscape architecture. It's kind of a young career. It started not too long ago, and it's just mainly designing after anything that's outside the building and the structure, or even gardens. We design it.
You're talking more like commercial, though, right? Like
No,
like residential.
Yeah, man. There's actually a few people who I look up to a lot who are landscape designers. They're not even going for landscape architects, and they have landscape construction companies. They do anything from residential to commercial, and honestly, the commercial ones might be a little bit easier jobs. They're just a lot stricter, a lot of more restrictions, a lot of, you can't do this, you can't do that. A lot of more careers involved. But there's another side of it. Basically, is residential, and people do some amazing artwork. The gardens in the backyard. Yay big. It's really small areas, and they're able to do a lot of work into it. It looks great, dude. So it's kind of like a mix of art, science, and architecture.
Well, you went to school for this, no?
Yeah, so I went to school for it. I did 5 years. I have my bachelor's in landscape architecture, and I have 2 minors.
Hey, shout out to you, dog. Hey, shout out to you, man. I went to college. Wasn't for me. Gave it a shot for my parents, but you graduated with a bachelor's.
Yeah, I have a bachelor's.
Shout out to you, dog.
I appreciate that. It's hard work.
I bet. 5 years, dog.
Yeah, I did 5 years. I actually did it. I'm gonna just call it out like that. I did at Cal Poly Pomona. It's out in Los Angeles. I left home for, 3.5 years. Because then COVID happened. So I had to do it from Zoom, which sucked, bro. Like that's probably the worst thing you could do, just be inside an office. Your office all day.
Compared to the 5 years you spent there, I bet you like that was like the one that stood out the most.
Yeah.
Was it the most boring too?
Yeah, the most boring. It's just like talking to people on the screen, and you're just staring at them, and you're like waiting until they finish talking, which is what you're supposed to do, but there's a lag there, and it's just awkward, bro. Like,
and nothing compares, I feel like, to in-person conversation.
Dude, honestly, the handshakes, the eye-to-eye contact,
the body language, like all of that stuff, it just helps the environment go faster. It goes better. It goes smoother. Like the conversations are just more authentic. And you can read people.
That's the thing. If you're on the computer, you can't read people. No. And people are over here like if you see me, like I fidget a lot, man. Like I'm always like moving around and stuff like that. And at first, excuse me, the sparkling water, amazing, but yeah. So you can read people by the way that they move, but you can tell if people are anxious. You try to make them feel comfortable and stuff like that. But online, dude, you're just kind of awkward. You're just staring at the camera and you're just smiling, and sometimes you're not even listening because you're just smiling the whole time, and you're focused on it looking right. But at the same time, once you get used to it,
too many distractions too, I imagine.
You can't, dude. Especially in a Mexican household. If you think about it,
got your mom with the music, got your dad doing some work, got your siblings
running around. And, man, I had a few times my mom like yells at me, lava tu ropa or something like that, and you can just hear it in the background. And it's funny moments, honestly. It was a weird era, but honestly now everything's starting to get back to normal, and honestly I feel like it's a lot better. It helps the kids learn. It helps anybody learn, tell you the truth.
100%.
Yeah, I tried doing my master's online, but I even got recommended not to do it online because you miss out on a lot. You miss out on the person-to-person contact. You miss out on doing the work. You can cheat your way through online, but you can't cheat yourself in an actual classroom setting.
Going real a little bit back, because we talked about siblings and stuff, and we're talking about this a little bit off camera. You are the oldest of your siblings, right? You have 2, 3?
No, so there's 4 of us. I'm the oldest of 3 guys and 1 girl. My sister's right after me, actually, but I always put her not towards the end, but she's the support of the family. Honestly, she's the middle one. Me and my brother are like best friends, but we're all pretty close to each other.
I see that. I will, because I know you on a personal basis, but I also see like you and your family get together a lot, like all of you guys, huh? Like you guys be doing functions and getting, I you know, stories and shit. That's how we keep up to date nowadays, is through what you post. How important is family to you, bro?
That's if it wasn't for family, I wouldn't be doing what I was doing. I've thought about it a lot through college. That's usually when I thought about it the most. Is like, yeah, my family helped me get through college, both on a financial level, on an emotional level, on every type of level you can think of. Because, dude, leaving and just like leaving your friends and family, like it sucked. I remember like we'd cry whenever I had to leave and stuff like that. But just seeing that it was for something better, it was motivational. They're the reason I'm doing everything I do, I think.
Damn, dog, that's beautiful. I know you're. Valió la pena.
Valió la pena.
Como dice la raza, valió la pena.
Yeah, man, like that's the thing. Like I remember when I was a kid, me and my dad would always bump heads and whatnot, and I would tell them like, no, well, I want to do this, or I want to go drink, or I want to go do all the stupid shit I would want to do as a kid. And
Bien rebelde.
Bien rebelde, según yo, man. And hopefully you had a function for that song.
I'm still learning this.
No, you're good. Yeah, dude, like, well, I mean, shoot, back in the day, I wanted to, like, be a little wannabe and all this stuff, and, dude, you start to learn that it's not even worth it. Like, what for? You're not becoming a chopper, you're not going to become some badass gangster. It's not about that. It's about doing what's right for your family, because they're the ones there, struggling next to you. They're the ones trying to make sure you're good. And, well, yeah, I bumped heads with him, and he was like, no, you're not going to graduate if you don't do this, or you don't graduate if you keep wanting to do that. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna make sure I get that diploma to you. Well, I got the diploma to him, and dude, it was probably the most badass thing I ever felt like I did.
That's dope. Back to like your dad being on your ass, and then like the parents basically, right? Do you now that we're older, do you like get it? I'm not. I know we're not parents, but like I get it now. At 26.
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah, I'm 24.
Like recently, like more recently, the last year or two, because I see it even like through my own siblings. Like it's because they nag me a lot less. Because I feel like once they see like, oh, okay, he's on his shit. Like they're like he's okay. Let's worry about the other ones. And now I understand the parents. Like sometimes they might seem like we might take it in a negative way, or like we might like fight it. But I genuinely believe all parents just want they just want to like know that my kids are gonna be okay when I'm no longer here, and I like and also pride, because I hear now that I hear older people and some of my friends have kids, that's all they talk about, like kids accomplishment, or they might even hype it up, Which
lie a little bit.
And like, oh no, mi hijo no es cholo.
It's like, mi hijo, I like this and all this and that. It's shit, man. Go ahead, I cut you off.
No, you're good. No, but I think parents have to do that. It's an uphill battle because they can never win. Because I see it even within my household. With me, they were strict as hell, very strict. Just make OG Mexican parents, chanclas, citaron, all that, right?
Botellas de agua, everything.
And my youngest brother, they were a little bit more lenient with him. But it's crazy how you can grow up in the same household and come out completely different. Because I see my brother is a whole different person, and he's like, we totally different personalities. But I also feel like that's like los pasos de la vida, los caminos de la vida,
Yeah.
That you got to learn on your own path.
It's crazy though. Like, there's two things that you're talking about that, and it's like, you guys. A lot of people try to go like their own ways, but at the same time, it's like you're in the same household. You're going for the same thing. I guarantee you, he's struggling to make sure your family's good. You're struggling to make your family good. And it's like people don't forget to touch base with the people around you. Family's there for a reason. If you think about it, family's there to teach you. Family's there. You're seeing their path, and they might even tell you like, don't do this or don't do that. But oh no, you want to go check. You want to be that curious cat that's like, oh, what is he doing? That seems cool. That seems cool, badass. Like, I want to go do what he's doing. And it's like sometimes it's better to go separate paths because then you have different options. And now, I mean, I don't know how it goes for you, but if you want to go back to, doing something that he's doing, maybe you ask him, like, hey, man, like, what are you doing? Or how can I do better? And you guys kind of learn from each other. And I think
Hey, I got to cut you off because I really like what you said. Like, basically, you're saying we can learn from our siblings. even though I believe the oldest has to set the example, I learn a lot through my siblings, and like you do too. And I genuinely believe like you can learn so even from bad people. Like there's always from people like I feel like people on the streets like okay I learned don't do drugs or don't spend all my money or don't be irresponsible. You know like in a good like there's examples everywhere, and I believe it also comes from the core values and principles of the household.
Yeah, it's crazy because, well, just like it's not really about household, but I remember back in school they would take us on field trips. Like they would tell us, meet us here. We're gonna go see this place, and it'd be pretty badass places. You know, different types of gardens getting built, all these different things. And well, we walked through Skid Row. I don't know if you know what Skid Row is. In Los Angeles. There's like basically long streets are basically cut off for homeless now. Literally, the whole street is just covered with homeless tents and everything. You rarely see cars go by. If you see a car go by, he's gonna go drop something off. Like, yeah, it was that type of thing. And I was walking by, you know, I had my little sketchbook and everything, and I was over there sketching away. And when I started walking, everybody started staring because you look like an outlier. Like you don't look like the type of people. Yeah. And some guy saw me, probably saw my backpack, and he's like, "Hey, well, keep doing what you're doing. You know, don't go a different route." And during that time, I was doing some stupid shit, bro. Like I was, not doing the best things that I could do to better myself. And once he told me that, it kind of just opened my eyes like a little bit, and I'm like, okay, well maybe I don't want to be doing drugs, or maybe I don't want to be out drinking all the time. Maybe I should focus on working. Randomest person ever, man. Like some white older guy. Like no offense to the white population, but just seeing a white man just coming into you and telling you like, hey, do what you're doing. He doesn't know what I'm doing. He just knows I'm doing something different. And so he just that's a big eye opener.
It stuck with you.
You can learn from anybody and everybody, and it's really hard not to listen to your parents, because they're the ones always on your ass and whatnot. But at the end of the day, dude, they want what's best for you, and that's something that I always took for granted. My dad always told me like, don't do this, don't do that, don't be so curious, because he knew how I was. He knows, if you tell me I'm not down, I'm probably down. That got me into a lot of trouble, man. No, dude, like that's literally what was getting into so much trouble. Just literally like, oh yeah, oh, you're not down, fool. Y ahí voy yo, pendejo. And just got myself in trouble, and it's stuff that he would tell me, no hagas cosas buenas, no hagas cosas malas que parezcan buenas. And then I always did the bad things that looked right, I'm not gonna name it here, but it's always the type of stuff that we don't see because we think we're badasses. We're an episode of Rebelde and shit.
It's funny too how like I'm a big believer though is that like those failures the failures or the downfalls we went through made us the persons we are today, because ahora bro like coming up we're not where we want to be, but we're progressing like as individuals, because I don't compare myself to nobody. As long as I'm better than where I was yesterday, or I'm better, like I go kind of like by quarters, 3 months. I look back in 3 months. Okay, am I doing a little bit better? Okay, good. Am I healthier? A little bit more money, like this and that. And but I feel like those failures, being broke, being in debt, not having a job or a steady job, having bad relationships, like all the negativities. There's something to learn there. And so I'm thankful for the failure. At first, like you don't get it. You're like, man, what the fuck?
Like it's just going bad.
One thing after another. But I feel like it really son golpes de la vida that I feel like they size you up. You're either gonna like get stronger from it, or like it's that saying, what doesn't kill you
makes you stronger.
Makes you strong, exactly. And I'm thankful for the fact, even though maybe even somebody listening here going through a hard time, I genuinely believe like God wouldn't put you through tests that you're not capable of overcoming. And so I like keep going. Like if you wake up today, there's still something for you. I'm a big believer in that, man. And it's never too late, really. It's never really that late, because I feel like I'm late in a way. But but like who's judging me? And they're like, exactly, you know what I mean? Like, who the hell, like, why should I, like, as long as I'm doing better than I was yesterday, I think we're going to be all right.
And that's the thing, I think, like, I mean, I know it sounds, like, cheesy in talking about it, but social media, bro, like, literally, everybody shows their best moments, but in reality, everybody's got a struggle. And that's the thing, like, I've been learning about that recently, like, struggling is part of everybody's life. It's just about how you react to it. If you don't react to it right, then, you're going to sit in that hole for a while. You're going to be there, like, oh, depressed, or why is this happening to me, or this and this and that. But you gotta think about it. If you fucking put the grind in, you get what you put in. So you get out of anything when you put in happiness and hard work, you're gonna get good and big rewards.
And just like you going a little bit back to the beginning where you said like you guys would cry or be hard when you'd leave, like those are all like sacrifices, but like for a better, like a return, like it's an investment. Like hey man, something I hate doing is working out. I'm in there, right? I'm in like 15, 20 minutes, ya me está gustando. But getting my ass up, walking up in there, putting your shoes on, like staring at the floor sometimes, dog. Like I'm like, because it hurts, dog. Like doing weights, running, that shit hurts. But I'm like, you know what? I'm probably gonna live an extra day, or I'm probably gonna have less health problems. It's like I'm sacrificing this right now for like a better outcome later.
And that's the thing, like it's funny because it's not even that it hurts, like oh I did this, it hurts my arm. No, it's like it hurts having to like get out of your comfort zone. That's what I think it is, dude. It just goes back to every type of like comfort zone that you can think of. It's probably the hardest part. But facts. Like that's the thing. My mom actually just sent us a kind of recording that kind of talks about just different values and things that you should go through life. And one of the things that it said is que siempre hay que comernos el sapo primero. And that means doing the hardest thing first in order to get through everything else easier. You ain't gonna eat no damn frog. And if you do, you got some balls. But after that, I guarantee you everything else will seem so much easier. Yeah. So that's why I started trying to work out in the mornings. Yeah. It's fucking pain in the ass, bro. Like waking up at 5, I start work at 8. So I have to drive to Sacramento, work out, shower, and then be ready for work at 8. So I don't come back till like 6. So I'm like going from 5 to 6, and it's cool and all, but damn, dude, after I work out, you know how good I feel? I feel amazing.
Looked at me that way, I was like, ah.
Hey, right, dude. Back to back L's. Back to back, bro.
What is it? This is the cheesiest thing I've seen again. Is like, you can't spell millionaire with a few L's.
We're back. Whoa. We were always here, but now they can hear us. Now they can actually
be able to hear us just fine,
and the sound effects. No, man.
Hey, it's part of the learning experience.
Part of learning. Oh my god.
Watch once we're back in a few, I don't know, years, months, whatever it takes. It's gonna be a whole different.
It's gonna be funny, huh? Hey, that's what I'm hoping to. I just gotta run with it, man. We're in too deep.
Yeah, you got to.
Got to. Hey, learning, bro. Learning experiences right here.
That's all it's about. That's what we're all about. I think even you, me, like just working and learning from the bad experiences,
from the failures,
Hey, but that's the thing though. Like even before this happened, I was already like thinking about saying it, and it's we don't always gotta like start from the bottom at the end of the day. Yeah, we start from the bottom and broke and shit like that, but. Our parents learned a lot of shit, about navigating through this states, these countries, and everything. And this, we don't give them enough recognition to think like, oh shit, maybe if I have a question and I don't know who to ask, why don't you ask your parents? Your parents usually are pretty like on edge or are pretty spot on, and will tell you what to do.
Wisdom and life experiences.
I mean, nothing beats life experience, bro.
Nothing, man, nothing. Cause my mom calls them tapas. You go through these tapas en la vida, and I see it now. I'm a whole different man from when I was 18, 21, 25. Like every other year, like you're growing, you're changing. But I also feel like we choose to. Because I've seen some people, man, and they haven't grown up like since high school.
And they get stuck,
they get stuck, man. Hey, man. There's still motherfuckers out here gangbanging, bro. At fucking 26, 30 years old, dog, living in their mom's apartment and mom's house, bro, with no car. I'm like,
no hope for nothing.
Couldn't be me, dog.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I still live with my parents, but that's where I was going back to with the whole, like, you don't have to start from the bottom. Like, my plan might not even be to fully move out completely, because at the end of the day, I want to retire them at my house. I'm not planning to put my parents in a retirement home.
But there's a big difference there, bro.
There's a big difference.
You're working towards something.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking if you live with your parents. That's not what it was. It was like that. Like I'm a big believer. If I'm not giving my parents, I don't want to take away.
No. Okay.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So if I'm not bringing food to the table, I don't want to take from their table.
Yeah.
So, and people that really don't do much are not working towards nothing, just smoking weed on the streets.
drinking
every day, bro.
Every day, actually. Yeah, there's people.
And coming home at the end of the day to have dinner with your parents, bro. I'm like, that's fucked up. That's disrespectful, man. The heck, like man.
That's one thing that it's taking advantage the wrong way. It's more of a disadvantage. I just talked to one of my fellow Chinese coworkers, and dude, I asked him, I'm like, hey, dude, like knowing from everybody around you, Chinese people are pretty hard workers. I didn't mean to knock on like on his hustle or anything. I'm like, but like, what got you here? You're around the same age. Actually, everybody at my job is a little older than me, but I asked him like, well, what kept you going, or like, what made you want to go? He's like, dude, honestly, like just thinking about my parents coming as immigrants and doing all this hustle. Just so I can go ahead and fuck off and not do the right things. I looked at him, I'm like, shh. That's one key thing, man. It's facts, and it's something that people don't see. And it's like your parents fucking still out there working, and you're gonna go fuck around and not do shit and not dream for anything, and just go ahead and just numb the pain or numb whatever you got.
Yeah, like you said back, not enough recognition, not enough credit, because imagine us. Younger, not because I don't know what age your parents came over, but my mom was like a teenager. My dad was like probably in his early 20s, maybe somewhere around there. But going into a country, you don't know the language, you maybe have like a sibling or a tío here, but you guys are all sharing, because they told me their upbringing, like 4 or 5 dudes in a room, and everybody in their corner, like going to work and sending money back home to my grandma, or like their family. I'm like, man, and to see them to where they got to today, like imagine us going to freaking, I don't know, Brazil or something, having to speak Portuguese or something, man. Like
that should be tough, dude.
That should be intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of things that people don't put into perspective, and just think about how hard it is, because it's not until you leave your parents' home and you leave for a few months. Even I know people who left, and just a form of being really rebellious and be like, fuck this, I don't need this, like I'm gonna go do whatever I want, blah blah blah. Then you go and you got all the stresses of paying bills and all this shit. That's when you start realizing, like, fuck, dude, like my parents aren't doing that because they want to. It's my parents are doing that because they're struggling too. My parents, they're trying to they have something they're working for.
Necesidad.
Why do you wake up in the morning sometimes? Necesidad. Yeah. If you're living good and you're comfortable, so there's days where you're like, oh, you know what? I don't need to go to work. But then that's what makes or breaks you. Because then after that, you're back to ground zero.
Exactly.
You gotta create momentum and just keep working.
Yeah. And I think it's the momentum is the hard, because once you're rolling, once you got momentum and you're going, it's cool. Like it's smooth sailing. But like the whole getting up, the getting started. The beginning is always the hardest part.
It's kind of what I was saying about eating the sapo, bro. You gotta eat that sapo first, and then everything else seems easy. And that's why I always see my dad. My dad gets up, 5, 6 in the morning. Goes to do his regular things. Goes to the restroom, cleans up, washes up, gets dressed, and let's go to work. And dude, for him, I feel like it's already tunnel vision. He's just working. Has to do this, has to do that, and that's it. There's nothing else to like fuck him over and be like, okay, you know what? Today I'm gonna not go to work and go kick it with the homies. It's like, for what? Like that doesn't bring much. You can kick it with the homies later.
I love how you shout out to the homies first of all. No. But I wanted to touch on what you said about your dad, and like you seeing him day after day wake up and grinding, hustling. Like I love how you like took that and being like, damn, my dad's a G. I need to like be a G too, like how the hell, like
not just because I take his last name or his name and his last name.
Yeah. Oh, you're junior. Yeah,
I'm a junior.
You're
bro.
a junior too. What the heck? I didn't know that, man.
No, dude, that's funny. And that's hilarious.
I've never heard nobody ever call you junior or anything.
No, man, you should see my mom mad.
Oh, that's who it is.
No, yeah, it's funny, but that man, he's gone through a bunch of shit just to see us fuck it over, and every day he wakes up at 6 a.m. If I was out late and fucking around with the homies and just doing stupid shit, he was up late waiting for me, and my mom as well. My mom was the one that always, shout out to my mom. She was always taking care of us, whether it was late or not. And dude, at the end of the day, they wake up early to go work. My mom at 5, my dad at 6, and me over here todo crudo, fucking thinking about what we're gonna do next, and that was stupid, bro.
I love your accountability, bro. You're the opposite of what I see in today's like modern culture, modern society is accountability, bro. Not a lot of people take accountability. They point their finger at everybody but themselves. Like, oh, it's my parents. Oh, it's my partner. Oh, it's the government.
Oh, it's my situation in life.
it's my upbringing. It's the color of my skin. Oh, it's my job. Like all these people swear they don't have really control of their life. Yeah, there's things in life that we can't help it no matter what. But like for the most part, you can take control of your life, man. I'm a big believer, and this is like shout out to like Gary Vee. Winners win, bro. Winners win, bro. Like if you want to become somebody in life, you can. I'm a big believer in that because just hard work pays off, and most people aren't willing to do the hard work. Most people are okay with the bare minimum or just get content, and they have that's like the level they're always stuck at, and that's okay. That's fine if you want to be there, but just don't complain about everybody else, you know.
Wait in the morning, you wake up and you're just like staring at your shoes, pissed off, like, damn, I don't want to go to work. It's like this and this and that, but it's like, why? Like you gotta enjoy it first, and if not, do something else.
100%. That's really dope though. I didn't. We have similar stories on how like we see our fathers, because my dad was always like very strict. Very.
Was it strict, or were you just trying to do something that you shouldn't be doing?
You know what? Both. I 100%. 100%. I was doing stuff I should not been doing, but number two was some of his actions. I'm like, holy shit, man! I'm just a kid. By that I mean like los golpes, bro, los putazos. But I think I turned out all right. Like hey, esas chingas.
they definitely
hey, I'm not gonna play with fire again. I'm not gonna go over there again. Yeah.
Well, dude, that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I was talking about earlier. I don't know if the audience was able to hear or whatever, but I'm very a fuck it person. Like I'm just like fuck it, let's do it. Fuck it, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or fuck it, let's go.
I'm down.
And I'm down, right? And dude, recently I actually crashed on a quad like about a few months ago.
Stop the cap.
Swear.
I'm dead serious.
What the heck?
I got my fucking head busted over here. I got a burn mark over here. Yeah. And well, we just got it fixed finally. Shit cost me almost $8,000 at first, just for fucking around. But yeah, that's just fucking money. Just lying around. But you know, we lowered it down. I talked to the owner because it wasn't even my bike. That's the fucked up thing. It was a nice ass bike, and he let us borrow it, more like taking care of it, but borrowing it. He's like, you can use it. And well, pendejo, I was like, I can go fast, and I started going fast, bro. I rarely ride quads. You know, I don't. It's not my upbringing. I love them. They're fun, and I like the adrenaline. But I said, fucking, like, me putié, güey. There we go. Dice mi papá, dude, dice, fuiste a dar una vuelta y diste 20? I straight up flip, man. And it's just for fucking around, man. Like, all this shit. Ya estamos muy viejos para eso. Of our word and stuff. But, dude, there's some badass, like, my sister will go out and drink or hang out or stay up late, but she's up the next morning, man. Like she's ready to go work, and she's hustling for her shit too. And you know, shout out to her. You know, my siblings, I mean, le están echando ganas y todo. And dude, that's shout out to them, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's just being disciplined and knowing that you got to do your shit. And I'm glad that, you know, the family that I come from has been like that. So I learned from them. It's tough sometimes. Don't get me wrong. There'll be like one day, like, hey, I'm not gonna go, but. Hey, that's perks of kind of running your own schedule.
Yeah, but one a dime a dozen, you know, like you ever see it, like.
But hey, like my dad, dude, like your dad, I'm sure también, they barely miss. We had it a little easier.
Yeah, we have it a lot. Hey man, if you come from an immigrant household, I feel like you got it a lot better. I barely came from Mexico in October. I went to October, bro. Okay. I'm very happy. My parents took me as a child. Okay. Because a lot of people think Mexico and they think Cancun, they think Acapulco, they think TJ, you know, like parties and all this like fun stuff. And I go, bro, and I go to La Sierra. I go to
a
rancho, bro. Like I remember up to like 2012, 2013, there was no electricity. It was all candle lights. And I remember going in there, lavar ropa a mano.
What the fucking...
Yeah, I don't even know what you call it, but
the cemento.
Yeah, the cemento, exactly. And to flush the toilet, you had to get like a bucket of water and push, and it's like a flush. And to get clean water, we had to get a burro and amarrar like two big ass like I don't even know, galones.
Galones, tambos.
Dambos, there we go. And go down, walk like a quarter mile or half mile to like there's like this fountain of clean water, and you had to fill them up there and then bring it back home.
¿Sería el bordo?
El bordo.
Un bordo?
Honestly, I'm not gonna say yes or no because I don't know if that's what they call it. I don't like saying, but yeah, man. And I'm just like, wow, man. And now I go every year because this is where my parents came from, and I'm like. And now right here we complain sometimes that the Wi-Fi is broken. So I'm like, we have it really good. We have it really good here, and I think everybody should definitely like. A first world country is a real thing.
Like, big time.
Big time. Like we got some people might, and if you lived here your whole life, you don't know any better. So I can't really blame you, but. For especially immigrant households, if you ask or if they come from there, they'll tell you. They'll tell you why they left. Because I get it. Because I'm also at first I was like, why they leave Mexico?
It's so cool out here.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, vacation. I know, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. After 2-3 weeks, man, I want to come home. Like shit, I miss. I miss my running water. I miss my AC. Dude, I get eaten by mosquitoes out there. Like,
oh yeah, I get torn up too. Dude. Like everything just like. One mosquito will probably like eat up this hand, another mosquito eats up this hand. It's a mess.
Porque tiene sangre bueno, mijo.
Algo será, dude. Los les gusta nomás me atacan a mí, los demás no.
Yeah. I know this podcast has been like all over the place, but I know I really wanted to ask you some questions.
What's that?
And one was like, so. What was the college? It was Cal Poly?
Yeah, Cal Poly Pomona.
Shout out to them. They're the one with the Mustangs, no?
So that's Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Well, for ours, it's a sister school. So it's literally almost the same thing, but we call them Broncos.
Broncos.
Bronco, you know, and Caballo también. And dude, that school has definitely taught me a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. So how first generation graduate, what's some things you learn? What are some things you like?
It's not easy out there.
No, it's college for. First of all, here I got the first question. Is college for everybody?
No. Actually, it can be, but I think that there's this recent thing that it's kind of like a argument between myself and what should I tell people to do, and it's not for everybody, but it's definitely something to learn for everybody. You go ahead.
Who would you recommend college for then? Somebody that
I've recommended it to a bunch of friends, a bunch of anybody who wants to learn more in any way, or you want to learn how to learn, and then school is definitely there to do that. But dude, there's a lot of trades that I do want to like shout out. Blue collars. They're working hard too. They go learn. Blue collar work, man. It's dope. I mean, there's welders, there's mechanics, there's everything there is out there, and they still have to go learn. It's not that they're not gonna learn. They already know that they gotta learn this, to do that. But as for college students, you're coming straight out of high school.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I met people who were like over 50, over 60, over 70. Over 70 was probably like one lady también. But she had that money already. She had her maid. Her husband had a maid. But she went to go back to school to go learn. She wanted to learn a specific skill, and she did that. And dude, it's crazy with the different outcomes that you see people taking. And I mean, going out of high school, I think is great.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do next. You're stuck. Yeah. It's kind of like going to, no offense on them at all, but it's kind of like going to military. You don't know what you want to do, but you're going to figure something out. And after that, your brain expands.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, then you get stuck. You get stuck kind of just.
And similar to like military and college, it's also an unknown.
And
it's the doing things like you're not familiar with. Getting out of your comfort zone. Because, go, even whether it's a community college or a big university, you don't know what college. Nobody can explain to you like what college is till you actually go through it. Like they can give you stories and stuff, but they're not gonna you have to experience it yourself.
Dude, I don't think there's anybody who I've told my whole like college story to at all. Like usually I talk about it in like certain moments and like certain. Everybody always likes going back on fraternity. Well, you're in fraternity. You had a bunch of parties and this and this and that. And
that's what everybody says.
That's what everybody says. Because that's the typical stuff you'd see. But Dude, once you go out there and you start learning what fraternities can be, there is fraternities that just fuck around and just doing their basic shit, but there's a lot more people who want to do better for the world than there is just fucking around and drinking. Yeah, why not go grab a beer and kick it here on the Sunday and talk and plan and whatnot. But there's time for everything: business, party, and family. There's always time for everything, and that's what I learned.
Whatever you prioritize.
Whatever you prioritize. If you want to prioritize this thing, let's say you want to prioritize parties, you're gonna get hungovers. You're gonna get late nights. You're gonna get what did you call it? Burnout. You're gonna burn out, dude. I'm telling you, I went through every emotion you can go through in college. I think.
Well, college is like a roller coaster. No, there's new people. Most people are away from their parents for the first time. You're in a city you're not familiar with.
Freedom becomes too much, bro. Freedom becomes too much.
I feel like that's where you get that. I think it's good. I think it's really good. It gives you life experiences. And it's only like if you don't do it from like 18 to like 21 or like in your early 20s, you're never going to get that experience again. Because I think going older in college, I don't think you're not going to get the same experience as if you're a fresh teenager.
No, yeah, dude, you don't. Because I remember I tried doing the stuff that I did in my freshman year on my last year. Yeah, you can't do that no more.
Nah.
Yeah, there's mental issues. We're just like, no, I don't want to fuck up this. I don't want to fuck up that. But it's
because you know better.
Yeah, you know better. Exactly. That's actually a good point. But as a freshman or a teenager, dude, you're just like, fuck it. Like the way I'm telling you I was. And that shit just gets you in trouble. There's no point. You can skip around that.
Going a little bit back to, you mentioned fraternity. What fraternity are you from? Or you want to shut them out, or who is it? Are you still part of it?
Yeah, I've been kind of slow on it because I've been working on some other work. Trying to get myself situated in the office and everything. But I don't think it's something you never like leave behind, especially knowing that what they did for you, you can do back for 10, 18, 20, 35 people, whatever numbers, And so I'm always gonna be part of it. I always get them on my heart, and they're called for abbreviation in a way, so you don't say the whole name. They're lambdas. I don't know if it could cause any issues with them, so I'd rather not shout them fully out. But anybody who knows fraternities, lambdas is they know who we are.
Hey, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them.
They taught me so much more than I could ever imagine. Just from good experiences to even bad. People skills, hustle skills, bro. We're up, working late nights, going through all the classes, studying hard, learning from them, doing meetings, doing events, helping the community. There's everything you could think about. And
can you tell us about it? Like one of the things you guys did or something? Yeah. Share a story.
So we actually we have this thing called Founders Week. So Founders Week, during that time, it's basically full of events. It goes introductions, passing out carnations.
Carnation, what is that?
It's a flower. So it's actually a nice flower that's the fraternity flower, basically. It's a flower that identifies us. And we pass it out to anybody, teachers, in appreciation of everything, showing basically that chivalry isn't dead. And that's the thing, man. Like, people think chivalry is dead. And it's not, man. Chivalry is not dead. And that's the thing, like, you just learn so much and seeing how appreciated you become over just doing the smallest stuff. We did a lot of, I did do a lot of events, but I was most focused on getting my stuff together, and they were helping me. So whenever I could, I did the most I can. And we did a lot of events helping communities. Like, I remember when I first started, what called the most attention to me was planting trees. We literally went to go plant trees for schools. I don't know if you know, but there's a big old dramatic increase in like the way the schools are being built with trees and all that, because a lot of the concrete out there in Los Angeles, dude, it's getting bad. Like, it's hot. You're hitting 100, 110, 120. Those kids are dying out there with the heat. Not dying literally, but
I didn't know that.
There's just so there's a lot of like different things that I know a lot of brothers were trying to put in work to. And then COVID happened and everything. But, just different things that you can just do out in the community. One of my favorites that I actually want to bring out here, and maybe people know more about, it's called Adopt a Highway. You just literally go out to the freeway and you're picking up trash on the freeway. So if you go along
on your own time or like through a...
Well, our thing was an event. So we did an event, and it gets something out of it was a sign on the freeway. We'll literally will have the name. Dutch Bros does it. I know Dutch Bros here in Galt, I think, does it right there in Liberty. So shout out to them. And yeah, right after Liberty, I think getting to Galt, you can see that their sign is there. And you can probably go on your own time, but you basically pick a day. You get a bunch of bags from Adopt a Highway, which is actually, I think, a program. And they put them out there, or they give them to a specific person. You get your hard hat, you get your vest, and you go out there. You got to have your certain restrictions, 2 cars protecting. This is the way we did it. I don't know if that's the same way everywhere. And you're picking up trash, man. You're filling up bags, and at the end of it, you put them in under the sign, and you see how much trash you picked up. That's something so small that everybody forgets about. It's like, why the fuck would I go pick up trash? It's like, dude, that helps out a lot. It helps your city look clean. It helps you learn and understand a few values, which just simple like that stuff, dude. That it's dope. I find it dope.
Sick. It's sick. I learned something new today. I had no idea. I seen the signs.
Yeah.
I seen the signs on 99, but I didn't know it was like that was the process or like the enrollo, pues.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's really freaking cool, man. Still.
Yeah, so the last one I did, my brother, he didn't really talk shit about me, and he's going to probably see this for sure, but we drove out there, man. We've done some crazy stuff. Not crazy, but it's just stuff that you wouldn't do. We went out there for a week, and we drove out there on Friday night, and we had the event on Saturday morning. And so this is the type of hustle that I'm telling you. Like, I got there to see the brothers, and we hung out, we stayed up late. They welcomed me, really welcoming to me all the time. I love them to death for that. And that's the thing. Like, the next morning, we got to go clean up, man. We're up at 9. We're hustling to get everything ready. They already had it prepped, but it's just a matter of getting everybody together and going out to do, the actual cleaning. And dude, it's just back-to-back things. And on that Founders Week, it's usually when it happens the most. You'll have another event on Saturday night. You do a fundraiser, or you go to a school event, and then it's just back-to-back. On Sunday, you have a brunch with people who we call interest, people who want to come in. We want to show them what we're about. You have them there. You're teaching them basically what we are. And it's just Friday through Sunday packed, and then have to leave Sunday night. Drive back out here for work on Monday.
Hustle don't stop, man.
Hustle don't stop, man. It's how it goes, and it's just how it should be. And you learn to love the stress and the process of it.
Love that. I love that, man. Everything is like, and you're about it. And I'm gonna put it out there right now. I hope to be part of a charity organization. I want to do that. I want to do something to give back to Lodi.
Dude, that's...
you know what? I have not done enough. I haven't made it a priority. I'm gonna straight up say I have not looked into it. I have not even put myself out there like that. But in the near future, there's this good feeling that you don't get nowhere else when you help somebody out.
Yeah,
that's why I'm very big on support your local hustlers, because even though they might be a little bit more expensive or
man, when did it become cheap to help someone?
Sheesh!
That's a thing.
Say that one more time, bro. I need to hear that again.
Everybody thinks it's a lot cheaper to support your local hustlers than it is to a bigger company. But think about it. At the end of the day, you know how much work and dedication they're putting into that little thing that you call a little company. Then that's something that I'm trying to learn. I always say that the business we started is un negocito. And my brother gets on my ass like, ¿por qué negocito? Why is it a negocito? Es un negocio. Es un negocio grande. Va a ser un negocio grande. And you got to hustle for that stuff, man. And that's the thing. You don't think about that, but it's everybody's like, oh, can you do it cheaper than this? And it's why would I do it cheaper if I'm putting more work than the damn company?
Exactly.
It's just stuff like that, man. And people don't see that shit.
No. Man, I'm going to use that line now. When did it become cheaper to help somebody
local? Yeah. Your local small businesses.
Wow, that's facts, bro. That's and I like helping small businesses. I don't get me wrong, you'll find me in Walmart and Target, but hey, man, the paletero, the elote guy, the raspados, come over here,
dude. That's the thing. Right now, I've been trying so hard to get everything local, and it's harder. You start seeing those business owners are going through everyday struggles, man. I have a few friends who would take I'll ask them for shirts, I'll ask them for hats for their business, and they take a while. I'm not gonna lie, but I do the same thing, with estimates and stuff. But dude, you know how much shit we're trying to line up to get that one business going.
Yeah.
And shout out, honestly, I don't know if you're ever gonna see this, but Kevin from, I forgot the name of this business, so I think we're gonna have to cut that out. But shout out Kevin de todos modos. He made these hats, and these are clean ass hats, man. Show
that camera.
The stitching, the color I wanted, the logo, he got it on there. This one's actually for you, bro.
No way.
I
Swear.
for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. It's I like getting it. It helps me, and hopefully you be using that out there.
Hell yeah, man.
But like, I like giving my hats out to people who know I respect and who are trying to do something. I appreciate a lot of people around, and sometimes I don't have the way to show it, or I'm someone who won't tell you, most of the time, like, hey, man, I appreciate you, but I try to make the best I can to show that I appreciate everything that you're doing for me or for yourself, my shit.
Thank you, bro. Hey, talking about small businesses or negocios. No, actually, hell no, because then Shroom's gonna slap me. Negocios. Talking about negocios. Top Garden Landscaping and Design.
Yeah.
That's you?
Yeah, bro. That's my brother and me.
That's dope, bro. That's dope. All right, so tell me about it, man. The name, what you guys do, let's get into it. First of all, Top Garden Landscaping Design. So I'm pretty sure this is what you majored in.
Yeah, so I majored in landscape architecture. I did a minor. These are minors. So, I like putting emphasis is psychology and then water resources and irrigation design. So if you think about it, a few of those words come into play with this, but I learned anything that has to do with, designing the outside of a building to being able to put in water lines and, tapping into them, putting a sprinkler system, stuff like that. That sounds like your typical gardener stuff, but once you start getting to the bigger side and, getting certified as architect, I feel it's not as easy. But my plan for this business is to do something like that, man. I have a lot of people I look up to, even just online. My uncle is the one that put me in on this path that I'm going, and maybe my dad won't love that because you're supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer, which I plan to do, but that's another subject for later. And this business, dude, like my brother and I did it because we wanted to be able to help out the community in this way, making some profits. Don't get me wrong, that's always the best.
Of course,
I don't plan to become rich off one business, and that's the thing. Like what I want to do is be able to give back in insurances, retirements, putting different plans for La Raza. I worked in a bunch of, not a bunch, but a few landscaping companies that, don't take into consideration their workers. They're paying them cash so they can get away from taxes and this and that. And it helps in the short run, but what are you getting for the future?
Yeah, the life of a field worker, man.
Exactly.
The life of a field
worker.
And
dude, there's so many contractors, showing money, getting these trucks and all this and that. But it's like they never think about it like, oh, you know what? Let's start you a retirement plan. Let's do some courses so you teach how to take care of yourself. All these things that are going on that, people don't see until you're actually working in them. I don't know, man. Just seeing that type of stuff when I grew up, it's like I argued with management. I'd tell them, like, take care of your workers and this and this and that. And maybe they started hating me after a while. And it's whatever to me now. But it's just seeing, like, people just care about what comes in, never what comes out. And it's like they're so cringy with it. And that's why, like, everybody asks me, like, oh, why'd you start a business if you're going to go work in an office and this and this and that? I'm like, I did that because I want to give back. All the money that I'm going to get, it's not going to make me rich. Dios quiera que it gets to the point where it's big enough to sustain those families and myself. But my goal is not to get rich off of it yet. But at the end of the day, is to give back to those older heads, or not just my dad, not just my uncle, it's everybody. Los señores que me cuidaban, or, how you saw people in the field, telling you to do better.
Raza.
Do this. La raza. Those are the guys I want to help out. There's going to be people coming from Mexico all the time, and those people don't know what to start off with. I'm there to teach them. They're going to help me. I'm going to help them. It's kind of like give.
I think that's the one thing que falta to the immigrants is like maybe we haven't done enough research, or I know I haven't, but I don't think there's a lot of resources for like newcomers, like people that come in. They just say, hey, I got you a job, work, and then like the truth is, like, the fees, bro, the price, like, most people are in. I heard Ed Caledron, he's a ex cop for Mexico, okay. and he speaks on this a lot, like hey man, you know what he calls modern day slavery?
What is that?
Immigrants that come over and that are in debt to like certain people till they pay el coyote, and like, hey man, because like to get into USA now, it's like 6, 8, 10,000, and then some people might even tax you for that much money.
11, 15.
Like, you know what I mean? La mordida que le dicen. And then you're over here, and then I know people, bro, working their ass off. When they get paid, half of it for them and half of it to pay off that debt, man. And they ain't going anywhere till that debt's paid, man. And
that's the thing, bro. Like I feel like you get stuck doing that sometimes.
Yeah, and then dude, like 1 year, 2 years go by, and then that's it. Like, and you know what? At the end of the day, it might even be a better life than what is in Mexico. Mexico hay pobreza, bro.
Yeah,
Mexico, $5-10. The average person would make, I think it was 200. And I went in October a few months ago. It was like 350 pesos. And it's $20. I mean, 20 pesos, $1. So that's like less than $20.
Yeah.
A day.
Yeah.
And over here we're complaining about $15 minimum wage.
An hour, bro.
An hour.
I think it's gone up a little bit, but that's the thing. Like, I get so frustrated when people do that, man. Like, oh, we should bump up the minimum. It's like, oh, but why? Why should we bump up the minimum? People, you know, they actually go to school, it's like, I don't know, not just going to school, but like people who are working hard to, you know, build up and get somewhere else, they're getting paid barely, you know, a few bucks more than you, but they're studying, you know, they're going to courses, you know, they're learning, and what are you doing? You just, I'm not talking smack on anybody who's working actually on their hustle, but there's people who just go to work just for the check, bro.
The people that get paid more, typically most case scenarios, they bring more value to the company. Most people that want the minimum to go up are lazy. Because why do you want the minimum? Or like, why do you want? It's a ladder. Like you gotta climb that ladder. If you want to like just like live life and not do nothing and just somehow get more money, it's like that's stupid to me. Because inflation is a part. Because if the boss got to pay you more, now he got to charge more, and then the customers pay more. You know, like it's a lose.
It's a cycle, man.
But if like you learn another craft, or you add more value to the company, or you do a little bit more, now you get a little bit more, and you deserve that. Why should we pay you more for doing the same job? Like if not, just do more, learn more.
It's like this one thing that, you know, I was trying to prepare and like see what I was gonna even talk about, but this stuff just comes like naturally to like this kind of thing. It's like you're doing one type of job, and you're getting paid for that job, but you want me to pay you what this person does for two different types of jobs. You know, either manager or, you know, he's like doing just any extra task, and he prepared for it, and so he has a responsibility, and he gets paid $4 or $5 more, and you're mad because they don't pay you that much money, but you just want to, you know, give them your work. You're like, oh, you do it. You just take on that job. Go ahead, take on that job, get that recognition, and just keep going. That's how you're gonna get paid more. And it feels even better once you get paid more for doing something extra. 100%,
100%. I think it's really cool how you want to get back to that raza, bro.
That's I think that's what we should all be doing, especially, you know, as having all the opportunities. My girlfriend, she's actually the one that taught me about that. I mean, like, I had the mentality of wanting to do it, but she kind of like developed that idea more. And it's like wanting to help people who don't know where to go. It's like all you have to do is point someone in the right direction. They'll figure it out. Dude, honestly, a lot of people figure it out. And it's just like they get stuck and you just don't know what to do. You get stuck and you're just sitting there like, damn, I don't know what to do. But if you just like end up getting pointed like, hey, do this, you're like, oh shit, everything just boom sparks up. All the ideas, everything sparks up, and you figure it out.
I'm gonna reference something to what I heard. I heard this from Kevin Hart on a Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
And he says we live in a know-it-all like world. Like people are scared or insecure to ask for help, or like we want to feel like we know everything. So people are kind of greedy with information, and that's not how we grow. We grow by sharing information, by helping each other out. He said like, because I guess he was talking about something that he goes back to his community and his like city, and he like talks to the kids there, right? And basically he tells them, don't go through door A. There's a monster there. I went through. Don't go through door B. There's like a fire there. Hey, but door C, that's where you want to go. And then guidance.
Yeah,
guidance. Because most people, I feel like most people want to do better.
And that's the thing, like,
because there's no guidance.
They'll call people to blame. You know, you did this, my parents did this, my parents did that. It's like, yeah, but it's like if you see them doing wrong, now you know. All right, well, it's time to, you know, step it up and look towards a different direction. And it's something that happened to me, man. Like, for a long time, I wanted to, you know, be the baddest, you know, want to be, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that and try to like takes things the wrong way. I always try and be like hard, and always try and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm a like just bad decisions, bad mentality. And it's like after you grow up and you start talking to people, you know, you start being like genuine and literally listening to people. You start realizing that they want good for you. Most people are good.
Yeah, good people, good humans. Yeah. Real quick though, I've noticed you brought this up a lot, and I don't mean it in a bad way.
What's that?
But I'm very curious now. Dude, I didn't know you coming up, but you sound like you're a badass kid, bro.
Nah.
Oh, pues rebelde in that case, right?
Rebelde,
you weren't no. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, right? I mean, but in that case, I should put the. Nah. But like, what was your turning point? When did you start? Like, hey, you know what? This is not the path I want to go through. It ain't left. It's right.
Yeah.
What did somebody talk to you? Did something happen to you in life, or was it going back to the white guy?
Going back to the white guy. No, dude. Honestly, my parents caught me doing a lot of bad things, man. Like they always caught me, you know, doing this, doing that, because I was a dumbass kid. Like I was a kid who was like, oh, who ate the cookies? And I'm saying no, and I got crumbs on my mouth, you know.
the Patrick. Did you eat the chocolate?
Just have them there, yeah. And it's like that's the thing. Like I was a dumbass kid, man, and I thought that, you know, I knew everything. Like you said, we're living in a know-it-all society, and I know this, I know that, and you start realizing that the shit you were doing was stupid, man. And my parents called me a lot. My padrino, shout out him. He talked to me a lot about like who we are and how we're supposed to be working, because I look up to him because he had the same ideas and mentality that I had. He was probably more developed and did more, you know. I was over here just fucking around. But yeah, they talk to you and you see your parents cry a few times. That shit hurts, man. That's where it hurts. And you know, yeah, I did get in trouble with the law here and there. Not a lot of people know that. But, you know, it didn't get any deeper because they saw, you know, some just college kids just trying to get through college, man. And so that's the shit. Like, there's a turning point once people start talking to you and you start realizing who you really are, that you're just like, all right, well, time to get my shit together.
You said your padrino was a big influence?
Yeah. He actually was a big influence to me because he was my role model since I was a kid. I always saw him like, oh, damn, my padrino. And he was like me with the family. He always got along with everybody. He still does up to this day. And that's who I want to be, you know, talking to everybody, seeing how everybody is, you know, helping with whatever I can help. And he was a hustler. You know, he was a hustler for sure. And he just worked. And I like that. Like, I like seeing that. But then he saw like me just trying to like be cool and you know, trying to be out there, you know, posting stupid shit or just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Once he talks to you, bro, you start realizing this, like, oh, damn, you know, I can become a hustler in any other way. You know, and you don't need to be a.
Hold on. Hey, say that hustle part one more time, dog.
You can be a hustler in so many ways, and then that's correcting. Because, dude, I see people out there selling flowers, right? Okay, let's go simple as that. You know, you can be out there on your phone hoping to sell flowers, but there's guys who go around, you know, selling flowers. There's guys who are like, hey, Flores, they're calling you out, and dude, those guys probably sell more. Those guys probably making you more. They make the best out of the situation, and that's what you got to do. Not just because it's a little hard, you're gonna be like, you know, like I'm gonna just chill here and do this. Nah, man, hustling is hustling. You know, you can't take naps, you can't take breaks. If you take a nap, it's because you need it, and that's one thing that I think that differences. That's the difference between older heads to us now. It's like we got to learn how to be careful on our bodies. I have a lot of you know, people who a lot of older people who I look up to, and they're sick because of, you know, bad things that they did, bad habits, or, you know, just working too hard and fucking up their backs. And they told me now, cuídate, you know, cuídate, or do it like this or do it like that. There's no point for you que te estés matando if you can use your brain, and that's all it is.
That's a good one.
Yeah, dude. It's just my padrino Tony taught me a lot of that stuff. But, you know, hustling, you still gotta hustle. The late nights are gonna happen.
I just find it really cool how me and you both have like godfathers that
making it happen,
man. A good example. Back to role models and good examples, man. Like real, like top mentalities, top G's, what I call them.
Dude, there's so many people out there, you know, with a really good mentality, working hard. You know, everybody's got their needs and with their necessities, but it's how you make it happen and make things meet. That really makes a difference. That you can't just be working, and then not even thinking like, oh, this should be allocated to this, or this should be done like this, or this should be done this way. Because then if you don't think about it and you're just working, you're just a mule. You know, you're just busting your ass off. But you gotta do research. You know, you gotta talk to people who are in the position you want to be. You know, you can't just be like figuring it out your whole way. It's kind of what I'm going back to. Is you can use your family around you for small steps, but there's people outside your family who are doing other shit that they're in your position, but maybe they're a little ahead, maybe they're a little bit behind, and there's no such thing as a race. But it's just like, ask them, how can I do it? Oh, you see me with that potential. How can I do it? Or tell me would you do in my position? Just asking shit like that, bro, that will make a huge difference in your conversation than thinking, oh, well, yeah, you got this help, or oh, yeah, well, you had this, or oh, well, no, but that doesn't matter, man.
It comes back to looking at the person within, like looking at the man in the mirror.
Well, yeah, exactly. Actually, that's a good ass fucking point. People will literally like judge you for things that's going on in their head, things that they're going on in their life. You're looking at yourself. Any bad negativity, you shouldn't even take it. I was gonna do my contractor's test, so I did a contractor's test. So this business can be licensed, and have a contractor to make contracts and all that type of work, whatever. And I didn't know if to do it. I was nervous, man. I was like, damn, what if I don't pass? Like I have people around me who can't pass it.
The doubt was creeping in.
Dude, that shit was eating me up. But then I took it, man. I don't know if I passed with flying colors or not. They don't tell you. I passed, man, on my first one. I left home like almost crying of happiness, dude. And that's just a small step, man. Like it's just something that you got to build up for. But just knowing that I didn't have to doubt myself was all. Literally, I did the test. And I'm like, damn, should I submit it? And I was like, fuck it. Again, I'm a fucking person, bro. I said, fuck it. Boom. You passed. I'm like, damn. That shit was sick, man. But there's so much more to do. You can't just, you got to celebrate your small wins, but you also got to keep pushing.
Keep it going. Proud but never satisfied.
Yeah,
there we go.
Actually, I hadn't heard of that one, but that one's nice. I like that.
I heard it from Christian Guzman.
Christian Guzman.
He's a YouTuber that like Jim. He has an owner of Alpha Athletes, something like that. Okay. Alpha Elite. And I remember because I had one of his OG shirts and it says "Proud but never satisfied."
That's sick.
And it's a good model for life. It's a good model for life.
And that's the thing. Like, go ahead.
Oh no, some people sometimes fight me on it because they say like, "Oh, that's kind of like bad, like never being like happy with what you have." Like, but I'm like, is it wrong that I want more?
That's the thing.
Like I feel like everybody's like allowed to live their own life, Like some people are okay with just that, but if I want a little bit more, I think I should be able to get that.
And that's the thing. Like maybe you are satisfied at the moment, but it's like you realize it just got to be something more. And that's the thing. Like I don't know who you talk to, who argues you with that, but sometimes they got to think that there's other ways that you can improve all the time. There's not just a one way. Oh, yeah, maybe you have a shitload of money someday, and it's great. But then you want to give back to the community, and there's different ways. There's nonprofits, there's organizations, there's things that you can do to give back with that money. There we go. People aren't gonna do, bro. Like there's people who will not put that money towards anything good, and they get ranchos and they do this and they just pocket the money. You can give back.
I heard this from. I'm referencing all these people I listen to. Jim Rohn. He says, start giving early so it doesn't cost you a lot to give later on. Yeah. He says, if you make 100 and you could give away 10, it's not going to cost you to get 1,000 and give away 100. Yeah. And I honestly want to work towards that level.
That's actually a good ass one. I like that. I haven't heard of him, tell you the truth. I've been lagging on my podcast recently, but honestly, that's a better way to look at it, because that's how I think about it now. Like I love to like do the extra mile for people. Like if I'm fucking already stressed out on my daily schedule, and somebody asks me, hey, can you do this? I try to do it. For some reason, it's horrible habits, but I try to do it. And that's the thing. Like now it's just giving out work, but later on maybe it's just like, all right, here's some money, you know, and maybe that money is I'm gonna need it, but if I know I'm better off and I can help somebody, it's easier to do that, knowing 100%. That I was busting my ass and they were there to support. Everybody always there to support.
100%. I had a question to you, because we've been talking a lot about family, and I know not all people have a good relationship with their family. Do you think family is only blood, or you think you can like create a family as you go on in life?
Oh man, that's you create a family as you go on in life. There's no way that your blood is the only family you have. Those are the main people you should watch out for, take care of and everything. But those people, It goes as simple as this. My dad would say, todo lo que hagas bueno sale desde la casa. So if you aren't doing good at home, you aren't doing, you aren't treating your people right at home, you ain't gonna treat anybody good outside of there. Why would I treat, this girl or this guy better than I treat my own mom? Like you shouldn't. If you treat your mom amazing, and that's the type of person you are. Because that's what you should be doing.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, man. That's what girls look at.
How you treat your mom?
Yeah, how you treat your mom, man. I've seen it. That like, hey, man. I've even had conversations with other girls. Hey, man, like, oh, why didn't it work out? Treat his mom like shit. I was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, man, like, dude, I've known guys who treat their mom so bad, and it's like, I don't get. I was like that. I was really rebellious towards my mom, but that's because we're a lot similar. As now that I grew up, we're a lot similar than I thought. And dude, that's the thing. Like, you can't have two people doing the same thing or thinking the same thing, because then you just bump heads. And that's the thing. Like, I realized that she just wanted better for me, and now it's like we're going a lot better. I've learned to just calm down and just not answer back. Like, why would you answer back to your mom, dude? Like,
La jefa.
La jefa, there you go. She's not gonna want anything bad for you. She's a middle point or middle person between you and your dad, and so that's the thing. It's like, that's how I would see it. She was a middle point, but then it's like, no, your mom's up there with your dad. Yeah, and you gotta respect her the same way.
I think I even respect my mom more. No cap, bro.
Ella te daba más con la chancla, huh?
La jefa, bro. Whatever she says goes, man. My mom was my queen.
Yeah, dude, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be who we are.
Exactly, and that's why I even got like a tattoo of it's just a mother holding a baby.
Okay.
It's just my respect to mothers, bro.
That's right,
like
that's
it's something we'll never experience, and I just think we can't like ever like feel or like given life, birthing a child is like, I think that to me is like the ultimate peak in life. So I'm like, shout out to all the moms out there. Shout out to
dude.
all you guys. Like, shit, we can never
replace them at all.
Yeah, exactly. I like Tupac's song, "Dear Mama," man. Like, that song hard, bro. It's timeless.
Yeah, you can listen to any time, and I think everybody wants better for their mom. But if you're looking at them and not even like motivated by seeing your mom, struggling or anything, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
it's not even
facts. No, but I thought it was really cool though how you said you can create your family. Okay, so growing up in Lodi, we had family, but then everybody started like going to different states because California's expensive. So now I have family in Washington, Oregon, SoCal, but I only got 2 cousins here, locally, right?
Okay.
And so I would say I have like my circle of like 10 people, like I would say there's about 10 of us, and those are my family, and they're friends, and they're friends I've known since high school. And these are 10-year relationships. Yeah. And we spend holidays together. Nice. We spend like we birthdays, have birthdays, like everything, man. And we check up on each other, and like that's my family. And so I think even if you're not like have a big, hey, I'll tell you right now, man. And don't take it the wrong way. I got jealous with my friends when I see them when they invite me to parties, and it's all their family, bro. They're like 50, 100 deep, and I'm like, it looks so beautiful. Yeah. It looks so nice, man.
Everybody's just getting along.
Everybody, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandpa. Like, this is sick, man. We don't do it that often, but when we do it, I love it. I wish we did it more frequently. I really wish.
Be that setup, bro.
Exactly, 100%. No, man, I'm gonna be.
You got to do that.
I'm gonna have a crib big enough to sleep over, come over,
all those
call in, come through. But
that's the goal.
But for right now, I have my friends, which I consider family, and I value them so much because I think as you get older, it's harder to make friends. Yeah, because then people have like motives. Yeah. They have like motives, but like the people that really knew you coming up are like genuinely gonna be your real friends, like your real friends. And then just real quick, going back into moms, man. My mom was so right about most of my friends. Most of my friends she told me not to kick it with. They're not kicking it with them no more, man. And she was right, man. And the ones she likes, shout out to them, man. We're still homies today.
That's the thing. It's just basic things, man. They just gotta show some respect. They might not be the best people, but sometimes you don't show some respect towards the parents right away. That's a red flag. Yeah. And it sounds kind of like gay or whatever. A lot of friends that I had, they would talk shit because I wouldn't invite them over or whatnot because they weren't respecting my house and weren't respecting my family. And it's like, I can get along with you and you can talk sweet to me and all this type of shit, but if you don't respect my parents, then I can't really respect you, and it's really hard.
It's really important to surround yourself with like-minded people and people that are like that help better yourself or that like are on the right path as you, you know.
And that's the thing though, like with that though comes a lot of like arguments, would it be? Because one person sees it this way, one person sees it that way, but there's not one way through their life.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways, and it's sometimes just being able to find the middle point that might be the better point. And so it's just like just talking to people and letting them like give you positive criticism is where I'm headed. Like listening and be like, hey man, like you're not doing this right. You're too stuck on going out every weekend. You're staying up every weekend. You're staying up late 2-3 times a week. And now, how does your Monday feel? How does your Monday feel? Fucking tired, unmotivated. You don't want to get up early and all this shit. And dude, I was through there. Even recently, sometimes starting the business, it was tough.
What's been your hardest obstacle? And you said you made an LLC.
So right now it's corporation. It's under C corporation, but I'm debating right now between LLC and corporation. Because, go ahead.
Like I don't know that much about business. So like, who's teaching? Like, do you have a mentor, or is this all self learning, or like how are you like doing all? Because this is like big stuff, bro, and I'm proud of you. Like,
I thank you.
So like, how are you making this happen? Who's guiding you, or how you doing it, or you just like me, just going through it?
It's unknown, bro.
Unknown, yeah.
I mean, dude, like research. I have a few fraternity brothers who are helping me out. I asked them whatever question I have that I don't know. I asked them their opinions, ideas, their perspectives mainly. And I have a financial advisor. He's through the fraternity as well. He's a badass guy. He's teaching me how to get through it. And sometimes I take it for granted because usually guys charge you a lot for research.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
all you have to do is research. Mm-hmm. But through this, I learned it through some of the courses that I took for the contractor license. I learned it through bigger companies who are already doing it. And one of my dad's ex coworkers, he started his business, and dude, that man is doing. He's putting in work.
You see the results.
Sí, se le ve. Él empezó los 17, started small here, and he would follow my dad, watch everything he'd do. My dad had some type of pocket knife or some type of this, he got it the next week. My dad had this type of belt, él se fajaba, and had that type of belt. And it's just like mimicking. We can mimic big companies and learn how to do it. The only thing is that we don't have the mentality to do what they're doing.
I love that you said that, because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm just mimicking the podcast I like watching.
Yeah.
The camera angles, the setup. I like, this ain't new. I'm not reinventing the wheel. No. I'm just giving it my own twist.
Yeah, and that's all it is, dude. Like everything already. There's so much shit out there, dude, that everybody's already done it. Everybody's done something. Everybody's already done that. Whatever you think about, done it. But if you do it in your own style, it's whole.
That's what makes it unique.
Yeah, dude. And that's the thing, like a lot of the name, had a lot of controversy with the name. I'm not gonna talk too much into it, but just that's one of my biggest things with it. But it's a twist that represents me, my family, the type of work that we do. My cousins taught me how to work. My uncle taught me how to work, and it's just learning how to like give the most and the top potential to anything. It kind of comes from that. It has no other relationships to anything else, mainly than the mentality that we give towards our work. Just you got to do what's best, and that's it.
I have a question. I had no idea your brotherhood like was this much of a help in your guidance like towards the business. So do you recommend everyone or a specific type of person to join a fraternity when they go off to college, if available? Do you recommend everybody should do it, or what's your opinion on that?
Yes and no. There's many ways to do it. I think if you put yourself in a position where you're learning through other individuals and learning how to do it, it will teach you a lot of ways. I think that it worked for me because there was more of a hustle to it. I was in a really dark spot. It's something that not a lot of people know, and I don't really show. But they were somebody who I told, and let's say he went off and talk shit on me, then I didn't have to talk to them forever. So it was easy for me to be like, hey bro, like open up basically. You know. And then I started living with them, and it's like they started knowing my every habit. You start knowing people once you start living with them. And so
You're talking about your roommates, right?
Roommates who were part of the fraternity, so they helped, dude.
see.
So if that's what I was gonna get at, you can go to clubs and organizations that don't do like fraternity stuff, but if you go to a fraternity, that's like an actual brotherhood. Like people are always talking shit, like, oh, you paid for your friends, or you did this. I mean, no, I paid for the connections. I paid, dude. Those guys are growing is just like me. They're trying to do what's best. They're trying to do what help themselves out, help the fraternity, help every type of way that they can. They're amazing people trying to do more. And it's like uno trabaja and then we'll go home and that's it. You watch TV or whatever. No, these guys work, go to school, go home, and then have to do ready for next week because we have an event coming up, or we have to do this logistics, or shit. It goes to as simple as maybe you are down at school and you're struggling through it. I have to come, and I don't have to, but I'm gonna come and help you and give you a hand as much as I can. All right, well you're compacted with too many things. All right, I'll get some off your plate, and it's a brotherhood without people realizing that it's a brotherhood.
That's dope, man. And I really feel like that's what separates your like average person to like your like to somebody coming up is like you said, people just come home, work, and that's it. Like even for example, bro, you taking time out of your day to come here, like respect to you, man. Thank you so much. This is my day off, and I'm here like I'm trying to create content, man. And like this, but because I believe in myself. I believe in myself, and I think something will come out of this. But and you just like believing in me, bro. Like being one of you seen all the stuff going on. Like thank you, man. I just want to tell you thank you too, man. Like I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come in and like share your story, talk to me about the business, and teach me stuff, bro. Like the Adopt the Highway, the fraternity, like stuff, because you can't walk all walks of life.
No, you can't.
But like, hey man, back then when we were in ancient times when we heard around the campfire, I feel like, hey man, what happened when we went this side of the woods? What happened when we went that side of the woods?
Hey, hell yeah.
And this is what I feel like. This is just modern times of us around the campfire, like talking about.
That's a good ass point. I have never heard somebody use that type of sentence. It's, the type of reference and analogy. But yeah, that's a good ass point, dude. Like that's how it was, and
we're just sharing information.
And that's why like you asked me like who should go through school, who should do this. Honestly, like I learned that not to push people through it because some people might not be for school, and there's some rich ass people who didn't even barely finish their GED, and you just need to do what you like to do, and that's all it is.
Life's lessons.
Hey, if you're ready to learn a life lesson like that, go ahead. I believe anybody should go through whatever they want to go through and just know to suffer consequences. Because you can't point a finger telling someone, oh yeah, well I did this because you told me. No, you did that because you wanted to, and that's the main thing. I think taking accountability.
I'm curious on business. How'd you get your first client?
Oh, how did I get my first client?
Somebody.
Well, apart from my uncle and my
that was your first client?
I got one of them.
Hey, man. Dinero, bro. What? You just told them, hey, I do this now?
Well, it's kind of. No, it started off. My aunt, she asked me like, oh, can you cut my grass for me? Just like fucking around type of thing. Yeah. And she paid me. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I decided, all right, well, maybe I should start putting my name out there little by little. And so my sister actually, she through my aunt, that's why I say she's my first client, because she's the one that kind of got me into it también. But my sister, she shouted me out on Nextdoor app. I don't know if anybody knows it. But that Nextdoor app, basically, it's like a Facebook for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so she put me on there, and I had this ranchito where they were amazing people. I learned a lot through there, getting my trailer up. Even my photo on my phone is actually in that same spot. It was a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, I think. And dude, it's just word of mouth, I guess, at the end of the day. Yeah, referrals. But sometimes shit fucks up.
Yeah. But like, you mean messes up in like your job, or what do you mean, or just life, or
well, just everything? Like, dude, you gotta. It's for a business owner. A lot of times it's what am I gonna fix today? What am I gonna deal with today?
Or what can I improve on?
What can I improve on today? It's a video game. That's one thing I've always
looked at life.
Yeah, you look at it like a video game. Like, I don't know. Like I remember back in the day, you have your character, and he has this many different things, and you got to upgrade this thing. You got to upgrade that thing. You got to upgrade this thing. And that's kind of how it is, especially in like the work field. Is like, all right, well, I got this machine. How much money is it bringing in? How much easier is it making my job? And if you're not like paying attention into that stuff, you're gonna get eaten up because there's guys, riding around without no trailers or anything, and yeah, they're doing it, but I know damn well that they're hardworking people, so if they get themselves a trailer and make it easier on themselves, they're gonna want to work more.
Respect to anybody in business, anybody big or small. I believe there's enough on the table for everybody.
There's plenty, man. There's no reason that anybody should be mad because that man's getting more. It's his time to shine.
Exactly.
When it's
or he put in more work.
Or he put in more work, and that's the thing. Like that's how you got to see it. If he's putting in more work, his time to be successful is gonna be less than the time that you're gonna take. But if you gotta take your time, take your time. I did 5 years in college. I'm supposed to do 4. My dad still gives me shit for it here and there, but dude, I did 5, and I think it's the time I needed to develop and understand who I was, and it helped a lot. I think and now I'm where I'm at.
I love that you look at it as a positive.
Yeah.
Like I just feel in life you just have to look at it. Everything is a positive, and I learned that everything good or bad that happens to me, it's my fault. Because I feel like why I take accountability for everything, good or bad, and like I love you could have easily said the same thing and been like I'd be farther in life, but I took 5 years in college, right? But I love the way you worded it. You're like I took 5 years, and you know what? I needed that extra year to be where I'm at, and like it's just a lot of people don't look at stuff that way. So I'm very happy that like I think this is why we're like we're good friends, man. Because we think the same. We think similar.
I gotta be optimistic, man.
Optimistic, 100%.
I was a very pessimistic person. I was always like, dude. I used to think that by the time I'm 25, a lot of bad things were gonna happen to me, and that's the thing. Like, it didn't have to be like that. Why? Because you start seeing things like through an optimistic lens, you start seeing life a lot brighter.
Yeah.
My girlfriend taught me that right now. She's been helping me with that a lot, and that's the thing. Like I'm very self-conscious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very nervous. And, I'm anxious most of the time. Like I'm sure of myself. But that's the thing. You don't need to be because then things come out. You should have that mentality of like, oh, I'm a beginner, or this and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, you're not. But it's how you see things, because then you start popping your collar, and you start feeling like the badass. And there's no point in feeling like that. You don't gotta impress nobody. Your actions do that. You gotta be impressed by people.
Yes.
And that's one thing I believe right now.
See the value in everything.
And everything, man. There's everything, big or small. You can learn.
Yes.
Especially if you're not in that field or in that event, whatever the fuck it is. You can learn a lot.
And to admire.
Admire.
I admire everything, man. But I don't know if I'm getting old or I'm just old school. But
it's like, oh, what a nice bottle.
Hey, man, everything, man. Becoming independent. I struggle a bit,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I think back to my elders. They were really young. I think about having a kid at 17, 18. No parent help. Like going back to our parents, like I'm like, wow, man, I have a lot of empathy and like love and respect for like, wow, they made it happen. They made it happen at such a young age and with no assistance,
No guidance.
No guidance. Just a ver qué pasa. A ver qué pasa.
That's how it went. I mean, they don't expect all the trials and tribulations that you guys go through, but a lot of times us as kids will blame them. Oh, you did this, you did that, and it's like, no, I didn't have to do that. Yeah. We lived in Mexico for a year also.
Oh yeah? What part?
Guanajuato.
Shout out to Guanajuato, man.
GTO, bro. Las
momias. What are you guys known for?
Well, actually, Las Momias, I know that for sure. Uh-huh. But I know in León, which is also Guanajuato.
Yeah. Like the soccer team?
Yeah. They're called Los Panzas Verdes. I'm not too sure where it comes from. See, that's one of my issues is that I don't go back and learn my history, which is something people should do.
Yeah, but you're also not lying. I hate people that are like, oh yeah, and like just to look good, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's from this and this, and then I leave them. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's why I rather say I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd rather say I don't know than like lie to your face. Yeah, I love that.
That's the thing. A lot of people. I remember as a kid growing up, there are people would say that que no sé inglés, and they would like pinche no parate aquí enfrente.
No sabo.
No sabo. No sé español. They would say no sé español, no sabo. And that was embarrassing, man. But it's now I think everybody knows that let's give credit where credit's due, and that's where it's at. But man, thinking about the childhood days is funny. Funny we were funny ass kids, bro.
And like to kind of like circle back is I also believe we're also like so young, man. Like lo que nos falta. Like if we're talking about this now, imagine like the combos we're gonna have in 5-10 years. Like this is why like I'm not gonna, a big part of the reason I started this too is to document myself.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking this way now, right? But how am I gonna think a year, 2, 5 from now? You know? Exactly. Hey man, look at all those L's this guy was taking, man, left and right, man. They're gonna see it all over this episode. But hey man, you live, you learn.
You live and you learn.
And don't live in the what ifs or in that doubt.
This is one thing I've also learned, like on Instagram, the most famous people I think are the people who show their L's, like we're calling them, singing las fallas and everything, and it's like you show that it's not always perfect, but it's how you figure it out, how you react, how you, the business I'm working for right now, they teaching me that too. It's like you fuck up. It's how you fix it. You're not just a worker. You're not just you're a problem solver. You got to be a problem solver. And anything you do, it's a problem solver. It's problems happen left and right, but it's like how you react. There's people who will cry, and there's people who black out, and there's people who don't know how to react. But there's people who like go right away. All right, bring me this, bring me that, or whatever it is.
Take action.
Take action, and that's what you got to do in everything. And in the future, I think if we keep taking action, we're gonna come back and be like, damn, we're barely doing that at that age. Damn, we should have done it sooner. Or damn, we should have waited a little longer. Whatever it is.
There's always gonna be that like, I wish I could have like sooner, faster. Why didn't I know? But it's all life, man, and it's not a race.
It's not a race. Hey, the turtle beat the rabbit, from what I know.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. That's a timeless story.
I've seen a photo. It's like they finish at the same time. So when they're showing the rabbit and the turtle, but then there's the thing, like, you know how many times that rabbit fell? You know how many times that rabbit tripped? You know how many times that rabbit had to stop? But that turtle kept going. Solid, bro. And it's true shit.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady wins the race. And that's the thing. Like, I like looking back to that stuff, because I used to read that stuff. My mom used to read to me as a kid, and she would read us like little analogies and like, the race between a turtle and the rabbit and stuff like that.
Those consejos.
Like, those consejos. But I never saw them that way. I saw them as the little rabbit and stuff like that.
Do you ever hear yourself like giving out consejos now?
Dude, my family likes to say like I'm like a wannabe Buddhist, and they'll talk shit like, oh no, he's gonna talk again.
Hey, tell me why my friends are the same. They know I'm like the big brother.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm the big brother. I'm always the one like hey.
It's funny though, like you will feel like that, but once you go into positions where you're the youngest, you learn so much more, dude. Like I've always been around like older cousins, younger people is the people I hang out around with recently, but like that's the thing, like you feel like the older brother, but once you start feeling like the younger guy and like, oh shit, am I doing this right, am I doing this wrong, you learn a lot.
That's when I shut up and listen.
Yeah, that's when you should shut up and listen.
That I think that's what helped me always think forward was in the fields. It's nothing but OGs. Yeah. Very rare you see a chavalo, I was always usually the youngest in la cuadrilla, 40 plus, right? And in cuadrillas, for people who don't know, we'd get paid, like we'd make this so much, and it was divided between how many members of the cuadrilla. And so like, let's just say we each got 500, and I look at that 500 and be like, damn, this is for me. But then I kind of think like, and my parents would tell me like, yeah, like you won that, but they also won that. And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong? Like, but they gotta pay rent, feed their kids, their wife, the car, and like me, I just being a chavalo, I was like
feeling like, damn, I'm rich now.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wow. And then this is why, and they would talk a lot about, because OGs, they ain't talking about BS, they're talking about life or about old times, and like you learn through that. You learn, and they talk about their L's too, and I think this is why it's very important to spread wisdom and all that.
Dude, it's crazy because that's kind of what like. I'm not like begging my siblings, but sometimes it's like, cousins and even my friends, and they're like, oh, pues el papá y la mamá siempre andan hablando, pues like just talking real shit. But in reality, at the moment, you don't see like real shit. You're seeing it like, oh, están chismeando. There we go. Están chismeando que esto es el otro. But don't forget, we became the part of their lives. Every day we're they're focused on us, and we're not. We're barely learning life and this and that. But all those consejos that they talk about, all those L's that they talk about, we're gonna go through them. It's how you react to them that you're gonna be like, oh shit, like that fool is right. And that's where I learned with the older heads that I work with. Man, they were paying rent. They weren't bringing lunch. They weren't bringing money. But why would they leave their money at home? Because they wanted to buy for everybody. But they couldn't buy for everybody because they bought for everybody. Then one of their kids maybe wasn't going to eat that week or some shit. Maybe it wasn't that deep. But, at the end of the day, that's kind of the mentality that I got out of it.
100%.
And it's está cabrón. Like, it's está cabrón. And that's why I wish, people reached out more. Like, for me, if somebody has a question, I'm saying this on this podcast in case maybe, who knows, someday, 2-3 years from now, you do pop off. And I'm thinking you will, honestly. But if somebody can hear this and they want to ask us for help, I think we're two people that would love to help.
100%, man. I'm here. I'm an open book because I want to learn, and also I want to teach what I have learned.
Yeah.
And hey, man, and saying that, like, where can we contact? If anybody who does want to contact you, not just put it out there. You're personal. You're this. How can we tap in?
I'll put these out there, I guess. No, well, my phone number. It's 209-263-9292. It's a business phone number. It's something you can find online. You can find it anywhere. So, you can reach me through there. You can contact me, my brother, whoever might answer. That phone's going to be a business phone number, and so you can contact us there. You can contact us through our email, tgardenl@yahoo.com, or you can look at our IG. Right now, it's topgarden_landscaping, and you can reach out. We're trying to do everything, man. We're trying to do all the landscaping, all the maintenance, but at the same time, graphic design. So I actually built these cards myself and made them. I got feedback from a lot of people around me, so it took a lot of work, critique. But if anybody needs graphic design done, let me know. I'm ready to build brands and stuff. It's a work in progress, but I know a few of my friends are asking me for stuff, so hopefully I can help them out good enough and get that built.
Hey, Lobo, once again, bro, you're a G, man. A lot of love and respect for you, man.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for freaking being on the show. And
thank you for having me.
Hey, man, and with that,
we'll see how it goes in a few years.
We'll see how it goes in a few years, dog. Hey, much love and respect to you, man.
Thank you.
Ahí estamos.
I appreciate it. I like that. Ay, wait.
Lobo, I fucked up.
Why? It wasn't recording?
No, man. Hey,
the camera?
The camera was. Hey, this is going to be funny. This is how we're going to learn. Hey, you know what? I'm keeping all this stuff. Hey, they're going to find out.